Hi guys, I'm DJI from Wiser Biker and today is bike review day. Now, I've been riding a new foldable bike for a few months and finally, today I'm ready to give you my in-depth bike review. And it is a bike from Garcia. Now, Garcia is our local brand, and for those of you who do not know, probably you have heard of their road bikes as well as their road cycling team. But they actually started off with doing foldable bikes, and recently they have reintroduced a new series of foldable bikes, and I'll be reviewing the Garcia Viento. Alright, let's go and I'll tell you how this bike feels as I'm riding it. So let me tell you how this bike feels when I ride it. Now, the very first impression I've got on this bike from the very first time I rode it is that it's incredibly stable. Compared to all the other foldies that I have ridden on, the bike seems to be very easy to handle. And I kind of understand why later on, because the bike has got quite a long wheelbase, about 103 cm, and the frame is designed in a way that is very close to the ground. It's actually very low. So overall, you can see that with this combination of design, it brings the center of gravity much lower and centered. That's why the bike is very stable to ride. Even on a rainy day or even when you are doing a fast cornering, you have got no problem with it. Now, other than being very stable, there is another special thing about this frame. It is a steel frame, so as you know, steel frame is more forgiving in your ride, but this is a chrome moly steel. Not only that it can absorb the vibration better, but at the same time it's lighter. So when I rode this bike, I kind of feel that it's very comfortable. The Garcia Viento is using a 1x9 group set. With this group set, I think it is actually one of the best combinations that I love to have on a foldable bike, because I think 9 speed is very sufficient to handle city terrains, urban terrains like in Singapore where we are living in. So I've actually tested it on climbs like in Hendon, our playground, as well as flat roads like in TMCR and all these PCNs. So the 1x9 system, especially with a gear ratio of 53T in front and 1132T at the back, it allows me to really handle all these terrains with ease. As for the shifter and derailleur, they are from Shimano and it is Sora, so it's a well-known brand and is a very reliable model. Now, the best part of this bike and the most fantastic thing about riding the Garcia Viento is all in the wheels, in my opinion. Now, usually I have problem with stock wheels because usually stock wheels aren't any good. But this bike is different. The Garcia Viento actually have the NVS wheel sets. It says that it's got low resistance, and I can assure you that is true. And not only that, but it also got a very sweet sound as it cruises. Now, I really like it. It's not too loud. You can listen to this sound like all day. Oh. So it's got a good wheels. How about the tires? Now, it is using a 20 x 1.5 CSC tire. Now, in my opinion, it is a very versatile tire width. It's one of the best, in my opinion, for a foldable bike. Why? It can handle different terrains, like it can handle smooth tar roads, as well as gravel roads like in Coney Island. So to test it, I really brought the bike to Coney Island to see whether it can handle the terrain there. And it turns out that it does. It can handle it very well. So not only that the tire was the main factor, but I think the overall design of this bike, coupling with the material being a chrome moly steel frame and the design of the frame, as well as the selection of the group set and the tire width, it all adds up to the bike being very, very versatile, very comfortable, and it handles almost all kinds of terrains that we have here in Singapore. And if you are wondering, the whole bike only weighs 11.4 kg. I'm going to tell you more about what I love about this bike. First of all, I gotta say, it is the design. Now, of all the foldable bikes that I have ridden, I think this bike has got a very simple, neat, and almost like a minimalist kind of design in terms of its frame. I really like it, especially the color. The metallic color, it is very modern, yet it is not very loud. Now, other than the design, there is also something more about this frame. and that is the material. So it is made of chromoly steel. Now this is the first time I have had a chromoly steel bike. Usually I use aluminum frame, and aluminum frame can be a little bit harsh at times because it is stiff, but steel is much more comfortable. And this being a chromoly steel, it preserves that comfort while at the same time being lighter than normal steel. So I really loved how this bike feels when you're riding it. It's really comfortable. Other than the frames, I also like the group set. Now personally, I feel that 9-speed is about the benchmark for foldable bikes. And now we are having a very well-known brand, and that is Shimano, and a very reliable model, and that is the Sora series. We got a Sora shifter as well as the Sora derailleur here, fitted with a mid cage, and Light Pro Holotech crankset in front. As you can see, for a stock bike, if it's fitted with a Holotech crankset, it is actually very premium to have, and it actually lowers the resistance as you pedal. I find it very smooth to ride on these Holotech cranksets from Light Pro. It is very lightweight, as the name suggests, Light Pro. Right, and having a 53T chainring in front, combined with an 11 and 32 cassette at the back. Now, this speed and gear ratio combination is actually very sufficient for city and urban terrains that we are living in. So you can actually climb very steep slopes, and as well at the same time, you can ride very fast on a flat road. I've tried it, I made it up to Hendon Hill, and the top speed that I have recorded riding on this bike is 46 km per hour. Okay, so that is a very respectable top speed for a foldable bike. But of course, it's not just that the bike is very good, but of course, you gotta give some credit to my legs as well. Yeah, so that just gives us an idea how well the components together with the frame are actually complementing each other to give us a very good ride and able to navigate the different terrains that we have here in an urban setup. So at this price point, it is actually very rare to get this package of components, all the well-known brands. We got Light Pro, we got Shimano components as well here, and a very good frame. Now, and I haven't even mentioned to you about the wheel set, which is one of my favorite. In fact, it is my favorite feature about this bike. Now, talking about wheel sets, I'm not usually happy with stock wheels, to put it in that way, because most of the stock wheels that comes with the bike are usually on the lower quality side end of it. I mean, but this one is different. Garcia actually put in the effort to design their own wheel hub and have it manufactured in Taiwan. And this MVS wheel set is only fitted on Garcia Viento model, not any other models, but only on the Viento. Now, MVS is a low resistance hub. And what does that mean? It means that when you're cruising, it actually minimizes the resistance of the hub dragging the wheel. And I could actually feel it in actual ride. It was very smooth when I cruised, and I really love the sound as I'm cruising. The hub sound is very sweet, very crispy, but it is not too loud to be disturbing other people. So I mean, the bike has just got everything to me, like it's getting everything right on the spot. So that makes this bike a very good value bike. So if you ask me at $860, is this a good buy? In my opinion, definitely yes. Well, but of course, I gotta tell you, there are some downsides to this bike as well. Now the pedal is a little bit soft in my opinion. And what happens when you have a soft pedal is that it will take away a bit of that power every time you're trying to accelerate. Now it'll be very significant when you are trying to do a very quick acceleration, especially on a flat road. You want to try to overtake a bike or whatnot. But this foldable pedal is actually better than a lot of the other foldable pedals that I see comes with the bike. I mean, other stock foldable pedals. So if you are doing mostly leisure rides, then this won't be a big issue for you. Okay, the next point is actually kind of important. It is a small part, but to me, this small part plays a very important role in a foldable bike. Now, this bike actually do not come with the magnets that binds them together when folded. I mean, nowadays, that is a feature that I kind of expect all foldable bikes to come with, especially for a bike at this price point, $860. It should not be that difficult or that expensive to include that, because it actually helps the bike to be folded very neatly and nicely and keep it closed when it is folded, and it makes the maneuvering of the bike when folded much more easier. And speaking of maneuvering the bike when it is folded, on the Garcia Viento, it is a bifold bike, so you can only move it in one direction when it is folded. Now, of course, a big part of a foldable bike is how it folds, right? So I'm going to demonstrate to you how this bike folds, whether it's smooth or not. You can see. Now, this is how it's folded. So this is what I mean by not having a magnet. It actually may come out as you move. So there's something that I wish they have. Well, the last thing I want to point out to you is about the brakes. First, a disclaimer, the brakes actually work very well. It is a mechanical disc brake. It works well climbing up the slope and coming down the slope as well. It's just that I'm just trying to be anal here because the bike has got so much good components, but the brake is not of a known brand. So I was just thinking that if we can have a known brand disc brake caliper such as a Shimano or Tektro, even the very entry level models, it will do the bike a lot more justice. It will make the bike a lot more complete, and I will really have no excuse to do any sort of upgrade on this bike. In conclusion, what I can say about the Garcia Viento is that at $860, I think we are getting a lot of values out of this bike. Now, if you're looking for a bike that is stylish and comes with a lot of high quality and well-made components with high performance, then the Garcia Viento is a very good choice for you. And the best part of it is that you really don't have to do any upgrade to it. You can just buy and start using it and can use it for a very long time. In fact, this is the best foldable bike that I have ever used. And if you're interested in this bike, you can check out the descriptions below. By the way, this is Garcia's bifold bike, top of their range, and they also have a trifold bike. Now, if you're one of the rider who is interested in trifold bike, do let us know in the comment below. Well, if we have enough interest, probably we can ask Garcia about lending us their trifold bike and give you an in-depth review on it as well. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked today's content. Before we go, I want to thank TemSG for sending us this bike to make this review possible. And let me leave you with the hub sound test.